Okay, so do you think it is gross to have sex with an adult who's mature?
An adult who's mature? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think a 9-year-old is an adult who is mature?
Wait, your answer to my question was a yes. You think it is gross to have sex with a mature adult?
No, I think that it's okay to have sex. I thought you asked if it was okay.
But Aisha is a mature adult, so that means it is not gross. So your
What
argument
do you,
just
what
got
do you think
dismissed.
an adult is?
I think an adult is just someone who's physically and psychologically mature for these types of like duties or like relationships, for example. And I think Aisha would actually satisfy that condition.
Is
So
that a
yeah,
proprietary definition?
I think it is the definition which most put into it. I think it is better than the definition that you would actually have for adulthood specifically. So yeah, I don't think it
Yeah,
is
so that's
proprietary.
not what like that's not the biological definition, and it's not the social definition either.
But you know that both of those definitions results in absurd consequences, right?
Like what?
So if you believe in the biological definition, which is what the Oxford Dictionary's definition actually is, they define an adult to be someone who is fully mature or a fully grown human being. Given that definition, you'd have to say it is immoral to have sex with someone who's 21 years old, which is retarded.
Why would I have to agree with that?
Because at 21 years old, given that definition, would not be an adult. Dumb fuck. You're not fully grown.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
fully grown, I mean, like, so you're just making up what you think fully grown means. So the biological
No, I'm
definition
just
of
going based
adult
off
is just
biology. I'm going based off biology, how
biological.
they determine
Can
if
you
someone
calm
is fully
down?
grown or not. What are you talking
Can you calm
about?
down?
Don't you
Yeah,
the tone
so
police me, son. Just calm
just
down
calm
and
down.
just address the argument. You
All
said I
right,
was
I'm
making up
just
something,
gonna.
so I
All right,
just
I'm just
wanted
gonna
the
mute you while I
justification
speak
of the conversation.
because now it's my
I
turn.
can just overspeak
So the
anyways.
biological definition
So yeah.
of adult is just when
Is
you've
he gonna prove
completed
the claim
puberty,
I fully
right?
is he gonna
Which
prove the
usually
claim I made of anything or no?
occurs around 17,
He's like
18,
stumbling over his
sometimes
words right
19.
now.
All right, now I'm gonna unmute you
Guys,
so you can
retarded.
respond.
Yeah, so the retard just did not even address the basic one-dimensional question of Asa because he's actually a dumb fucking literate scumbag, right? So
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
were muted,
re-ask
right?
the question. I'm gonna re-ask the question, right? And hopefully can actually address the question, bitch boy. So the question is, what's the proof that I made up a particular concept of being grown up, which is not in accordance with the conventional concepts, retard?
What's the proof? What?
You made the claim I made up a particular concept of being grown up to determine adulthood given the biological definition. I'm asking you for the justification for that proposition.
Yeah, just go around and ask people what they mean by adult. Usually they'll tell you that they mean completed puberty or 18 years of age.
Mistrack of doom and despair. So I'm going to re-ask the question, and let's see if on the second try
Oh,
the dumb fuck might actually answer the question, right? So the question is, what's the proof that my concept of what it means for a human being to be fully grown is something which is proprietary? Not
Yeah,
my concept of adulthood.
obviously the fully grown part isn't proprietary. The proprietary
Oh,
part
so
is
you can
that
see the problem.
9-year-old.
That's a good session. That's a good session. Because
Yeah,
you
so
said that I
the
made that part
proprietary
up.
part. Okay, I'm
I'm
assuming
so
you
stupid,
again.
but you're stupidly performing badly the
Again,
conversation,
so you're
which is
muted
pretty
now. So the
okay.
proprietary part is
No one
that
cares
a
about you, by the way, just to
9-year-old
be clear. This,
could be considered fully grown. That's
yeah,
the
this retard is
proprietary
like
part.
actually dumb as
Now,
fuck.
the
You said
common
specifically, the
usage
retard
is
actually
either going to
said that
be the
he's
social
just
one,
talking to
which
himself
is going
right
to be
now. He's
18
just
years of
talking
age,
to himself right
or the biological
now. And
one,
he's still
which
going.
is
And
reach
he's still going.
or surpass puberty, which
The
occurs around the
retard
same time.
sounds so
All right, I'm going to
lost
turn it
right
back
now.
up now.
So just to be clear for the audience, because the retard just has this nasty tendency to like talk to himself each time he gets his brains rhetorically blown the fuck out. So what happened was the
oh my
retard did in fact
Is that what you
say
think happened?
the retard did in fact say that my idea of what it means for a human to be fully grown was made up. Now he's retracting that proposition like the bitch he actually is, and is agreeing that it is not actually fully made up, and it is the type of thing which is in conformity with the conventional concept. So that's concession number one, and blunder number I guess three for the retard. The other part I want to say is simply that he's appealing to either the biological or the social definition of what determines adulthood. The biological definition, and I can post the screenshot if I pick terms or anyone else can, states that what determines adulthood or what an adult actually is a fully grown human. Given that definition, a 21 years old would not be an adult. A 21 years old is not fully grown given the biological evidence. It is proven biologically that people still grow even after 21 years old. Either insofar as the neurological structures are concerned, or in the cases of males, they are still growing physically. So that's an idiotic position to take if you're going to be saying that fully grown is going to be a necessary condition for adulthood given the biological definition. It results in a plethora of ridiculous consequences and entailments. Like, for example, a 21 years old, a 22 years old, a 20 years old, a 19 years old, an 18 years old person not being an adult. And it would also entail as a result of that, that it would be immoral to have sex with these people who are not adults. But of course, we don't believe this because we are not retarded. And by we, I'm talking about me and the voice call, and not you because you are in fact retarded. So I wanted to just log in and just give me an actual argument against my other proposition.
Yeah. So
I mean,
again,
rhetoric.
so by yeah, the rhetoric's bad. Yeah. So the fully grown part is supposed to be about surpassing puberty. Okay. Secondly, it sounds like I didn't really track exactly what your inference was, but it sounds like you're assuming that I think that once you reach adulthood, it's just going to be okay, carte blanche, to have sex with that person. That may or may not be the case. It depends on who's having sex with the person. Well, and the point that you were, I should have said this first, but the point that you're wrong about is that, right, like a 9-year-old, right, is going to be able to fulfill the definition of fully grown and mature. That's the thing I was taking issue with, not like the blanket statement that what it means to be an adult is fully grown. Like, obviously, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so the retard just get off track once again, and he said surpassing puberty is identical to being fully grown. You are retarded. You are actually retarded. If you believe that growth of a human being stops after puberty stage, you are actually in fact inept and basically just ignorant when it comes to basic fucking biology. That's not the case, by the way. People still have been proven to grow after puberty. In fact, this is actually a proven fact. Even if you like
Oh my God, you're not
check
tracking.
TikTok, for example. Oh yeah, I'm not tracking, but you're the one getting blown the fuck out. Mate, that makes sense, retard. So, anyways, just to lock in the conversation, and clearly your interruptions are screaming insecurity right now because you know for a fact that they're ripped apart limb by limb. So you stated that surpassing puberty would be the thing which is identical to being fully grown. I've typed this out in the chat, and I can ask everyone in the voice who is paying attention. Do you get an anal butt fuck to this debate right now that this was in fact occurring, or this was in fact what he said in the conversation. So he did in fact say this. That proposition is obviously incorrect. If you know any sort of like basic facts about biology and how human physiology actually works, it does not stop just merely after the end of puberty stage, you dumb fuck. We still grow after puberty. So for you to say that these two things would be identical concepts, given what people actually mean by adulthood, is retarded. That's
Oh,
the
sorry.
main point I want to make. So
Went to
do
my,
you have any other dumb fuck points you want me to demolish, retard?
no, it went to my earbuds. So, did you hear what I said?
I heard all the dumb shit gobbledygook you said, and I've debunked all of
All
them.
right,
So what's
let
up
me
the
just
points
let
for
me just
suspension?
repeat it real quick so you can respond to it. So, sexual maturity or fully grown refers to sexual maturity, which occurs after puberty. We're not talking about sexual fully grown as in nothing else happens to your body. Obviously, that's not the case. I would agree with you that it'd be really silly if that's what I meant, but that's obviously not what I mean. Right? And I just take it that it's obviously wrong to have sex with a 9-year-old. It's obviously the case that a 9-year-old is an adult. An
What's the
adult,
argument for that?
right? Reaching menarche, right? The early stages of puberty, like Kenner stage 1 or 2 or something like that, clearly is not anywhere within the range of what a normal person would consider an adult.
So the second comment of Albert Einstein just gave a genius of the argument. It's obviously the case that she's not an adult. Yeah, what a great argument, dude. He just reasserts the proposition, but added the word obviously in the proposition to make it seem as if you have an argument for the proposition. You are actually retarded. That's number one. Number two is it's not obviously the case, especially when we take into consideration of the fact that Aisha was being portrayed narratively, given the evidence that she is a special type of person who is blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're ignoring this.
Circles
Yeah,
of a
look at me, dude.
9-year-old.
Fake. The made in China laughs. This made in China laughs to
Look,
hide this
nobody,
insecurity.
nobody
Holy,
buys this.
holy. And look at the interrupted. And look at the retard
Nobody
interrupted as he was
believes that you
crying
believe it.
about interruptions. Look at the retard that just crying and crashing the fuck out because he's getting blown the fuck out, right? He's
You think
retarded,
I'm
right? So
crushing it?
I've said this on here. You think I'm crushing you? Are you done? So, anyways, to continue my point, as the retard continues to skits around with the background after realizing there's no argument, no debunk, no refutation, and no falsification of
Yeah,
my
but
points, right?
have you
I'm
responded to
making
what I
it
said?
clear. Oh, and the retard is still crying. Oh my god, dude. Stop Peter Pants, you moron. Holy. So, anyways, I'm telling you right now that you're making the claim that, well, it's obvious that a 9-year-old is not an adult. Well, if you're going to be criticizing a supernatural, or rather a religious text, which has several different indications of supernatural phenomena which is not specifically conformative to the naturalistic processes that were revealed to on a day-to-day activity or day-to-day basis, you dumb fuck illiterate scumbag piece of trash loser, then how are you going to be judging a specific text which is usually showcasing the beds, which is out of conformity with this naturalistic standard that we are exposed to by means of using that naturalistic standard. That makes no sense whatsoever. If you're going to be given an internal critique, for example, to the literature, you'd have to place into consideration that Aisha herself stated that she is in fact mature, right? And if you're going to be one to say that if you're going to be rejected that proposition that Aisha is mature, then you'd also have to reject the proposition that Aisha is 9 years old, because the only basis that you're going to be utilizing to say that she was 9 when she married the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would specifically be the Hadith literature. So if you're going to be using the Hadith as evidence for the prop that she was 9 when the Prophet married her, you'd also have to use the Hadith to then remain consistent and say that she was in fact mature when she was 9, because she herself stated in a separate hadith that she was 9 years old. Or sorry, she was mature, I should say. So that would specifically be something which goes against the proposition that she's not mature because of the hadith evidence, which points towards her being mature given her own statement. You can't reject that statement because you rejected that statement would just be you special pleading for the sake of adopting or maintaining your position, because it does not actually support your overarching claim you've made in this conversation.
Gotcha. So it seems like you abandoned the thing about fully grown. I think I'll just take the concession on that. So what is it?
Concession on what, sorry?
So by
Concession on what?
stop interrupting. So do you think it's okay
Concession on what?
for
Concession
you
on
can see
what?
the the fully grown thing? You didn't respond to what I said, so I just
When did I ever
assumed that's
concede that? When did I ever
well. Do
concede
you
that?
did you want to respond to what I said?
What points do you think I've not responded to, retard?
Yeah. So I said something, and then you didn't respond to it. So I just take it you conceded.
What's that thing? Yeah, what's that thing, retard? What's the thing I did not respond to, retard?
Yeah, so when we're talking about what fully grown was, you're trying to say there's some kind of reductio to say that, look, you're fully grown when you're 18, because it's obviously the case, right, that human beings continue to grow, right? Well, that's just like an
Okay.
equivocation or a misunderstanding what I mean by fully grown. By fully grown, we just mean reaching or surpassing puberty. So did you want to
Do you
respond to
think it
that?
is more likely? Do you think it is more likely that this is what you meant by fully grown in comparison to the negation hypothesis?
I
Why
don't
is
even know what you're
pop
saying there.
a cringe
I
lord?
think it is. I think it is more likely. I think it is more likely that what you did in fact mean by fully grown is what actual biologists would mean, and then they realize your point got fucked over, so you
When
switched the
people say
definition.
adult means fully grown, they mean surpassing puberty. Dr. Hiwa,
Prove
what do
that
you
claim.
think? What people mean by fully grown
Prove that claim.
regarding adulthood?
Prove that claim.
That sounds
Oh,
about right.
he had to tap in. He had to ask his
Yeah, I
boyfriend to
just
vouch for his
consulted
claim because
a
there's no evidence.
physician, a
My boyfriend is
neurologist.
your dad. Calm down.
My boyfriend is
So,
your dad. Calm down, as he says while
so,
looking
so
rhetorically
Apollo, you
X
think
down
it's
to the
okay
conversation.
for like a 45-year-old
Where's
to
the
Imagine,
say
evidence
that
for
imagine
the
I'm
mocking
proposition?
other people with that
Where's the
nasally voice while having
proposition?
the most effeminate soy infused voice on the app.
That
It's
was a
crazy.
stutter right there, dude. That was cringe, actually. But just to continue with the point I was making,
so
so do
Apollo,
you have
you
any
think it's okay for a
justification or any evidence for the
45-year-old
Not actually the
proposition?
minor?
negation of the proposition that was a negation of the
Why are you
proposition.
ready for the claim? Oh, look at the retard roundbit at the background because his boyfriend getting back shots in the conversation. That's insane to me. But back
Apollo,
to
do
Jeff.
you
Do you
think
have
it's
any
okay
evidence
for a
for the prop?
45-year-old
Don't
This
run.
is
to have
why
sex with a
You're
everyone
ready.
minor?
hates you, you
You're
cringe
running
lord.
for the question. You're waiting for the question. You said
Apollo, do you think it's
specifically that
okay
you
for a
said you're
45-year-old
running. You're
to have
running.
sex with a
You're running.
9-year-old?
You said you're running. You're running for the question, right? So you said
What
that
do
it
you
is
mean?
the
I'm
Why is
case
asking a
that
this
most
question.
people.
cringe
You
retard
said
goddamn?
most people. Why is this cringe retard barking in the background? Shut the fuck up, bitch. Silence. Back to the other guy. You said that if most people mean surpassing puberty when they're talking about fully grown. What's the evidence?
What's the evidence?
You have the survey? Yeah, what's the survey, retard? Show me. Do
Well,
you have any like
one
evidence that
physician
most
believes
people?
it, and a second physician believes that.
One position believes this, therefore the majority believes this. What a great fucking argument. Holy dude. So I'm gonna
Oh, there's
re-ask you
two.
the question. What's the evidence? So because two persons because two
Yeah,
persons believe
I'm an
this
adult,
because
and
two
I've spoken
persons
to
believe
people.
this, that means the
Right?
vast majority of
This is
average
the
laymen
way that.
believe this?
Oh,
Is
you're
this
not
guy
done yet?
retarded?
Are you gonna crush
Are you
out?
not done yet? Are you gonna crush
Are you
out? Is
angry?
your best
Are
argument?
you gonna crush
Is
out?
this your
Yeah.
argument? Is
So
this your argument?
the argument is
Is this your
that this
argument
is
for the
the
claim?
way that
Because
this
two
is the
persons
way.
believe this, that means the vast majority of people believe
Let me
this
just finish
proposition.
that. All right. So the
I'm gonna
evidence
wait
is
for the
that this
evidence,
is the
dude.
way that it's used in medicine. This is the way that normal people speak. My
You
justification
have
for
not proven
that
that
is that
claim. That's the
I'm
repetition of
in
the
the field
claim.
and
That's
then
the
I talk to
repetition of the
normal
claim.
people. Now, maybe
That's the repetition of
Discord,
the
like
claim.
Discord Muslims don't mean that, but that's just because they're trying to justify fucking 9-year-olds. So, like, if
Have you
those are the
shown
people
the
that you're
evidence
around,
for the
then I
prop? Have
understand
you shown the evidence?
like why you think that.
It's funny. It's funny
I'm
because
gonna
you
turn
have
you
the
back
voice
up
of
now.
someone who found this 9-year-old, by the way, just to be clear on that part. But just to address the other part of what you're talking about, you just repeat the same claim, which is in question. He just said, well, the evidence for it being the case that the vast majority of people mean this is that when I look into medicine and average layman common parlance, this is basically what they mean by the prop, right? This is basically what they mean when they're talking about adult or being fully grown in the context of adulthood, which is the same thing which is in question, right? So I'm going to ask you again, what's going to be the evidence for the proposition that this is what the vast majority of laymen
Yeah, my experiences.
mean? Could you prove your experiences conform to this proposition?
Okay, yeah. So remember that you were saying, right? It was your
Let's
claim.
start your opponent is
Wait,
there.
it
He's
was your
running.
claim. It
He's
was your
running. He
claim,
has no evidence.
right?
He's
That fully
running.
grown meant something, right?
He has
All
no
you're doing now
evidence.
is shifting the burden of proof,
All you're doing
right?
right
I can
now
be
is
justified
pontificating
given my
because you have no
experiences, right?
justification. Based on my experiences, that's not what people mean by adults or being fully grown, retard.
Look, it was your claim that that's what people usually mean, right? I'm saying no, that's not what I
No,
say.
you're the one making the claim. You're the one making the claim
You
that
made the claim by saying that's
is
what it
this
meant.
guy retarded?
Now,
Is
I'm
this a guy
also
retarded?
making the claim that's not what people mean. I just gave you two
Oh, really?
reasons to believe that. hmm
Fully grown human meaning. All right, let's look at
In
this, for
in
example.
regard to adulthood, don't forget that.
Let's just look at the actual. That's crazy.
Being a biological adult
Holy
fully
dude.
means reaching complete physical maturity, including full growth and sexual maturity, ability to reproduce. Sounds a lot like what I said, right?
You think just surpassing puberty is sufficient to reach that standard, retard?
Yeah, complete physical maturity, including full growth and sexual maturity.
You don't think someone can grow after the age of puberty?
Obviously, they can, right? But what,
Okay. Do you
what
know of
adult
case
means
scenarios? Do you know of case
regarding
scenarios?
fully
Do you know
grown,
of case scenarios in which someone has reached their maximum adult size after
that's
puberty?
not what that's not what they're talking about.
He
With
doesn't
fully
know
grown
what is
regarding to
happening right
adulthood.
now. He's lost to the conversation. I'm asking you this very basic question, right? So, is it the case that there are instances in which someone does not reach adult size even after they surpass puberty? Yes or no?
Adult size? They would be fully
Yep.
grown because they surpassed puberty on this definition.
That begs the question, by the way. So, I'm going to ask
What
the
do you mean
question.
by adult size? What does that mean?
Adult size would just be referencing to the same standard of being fully grown. Like, for example, no longer having any growth capacity
But
to grow
that's
a
the
taller or
fully
something.
grown part is what's in question. So what do you mean by
No,
adult
it's talking
size?
about being. What I mean by adult size is not growing any further. So you're no longer growing
adult,
afterwards.
so adult size means not growing any further?
That's what it states
Where'd you
right
get
here,
that
retard.
definition from?
A fully grown human means a person who has completed their physical development and reached adult size and maturity, no longer growing. Often synonymous with being an adult, mature, or grown up, typically considered around age 18 or older. Though it can imply full physical and mental development. Dumb fuck. That's what's on Google right now. So you're gonna tell
Yeah,
me
that
that it
sounds
is
a
the
lot like
case
my
with this
definition.
definition?
And why is it that
No, it
18
doesn't.
is the
No, it
typical
doesn't.
age?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Because
does.
because you agreed that there are people who can surpass puberty who is not fully grown, you idiots. So it would be in contradiction towards your definition.
By fully grown, like the definition I just read, I'll just read it again. Fully
They
grown,
specify.
being an
Could
adult,
I get the
fully
terms?
grown is what I typed into Google. Being a biological adult, fully grown means reaching complete physical maturity, including
They
full
also
growth,
say no
sexual
longer
maturity,
growing, by the way.
and
They also
ability to
say no longer
reproduce.
growing. Just to be clear with this.
Look, obviously, what I have in mind is much
Full
closer to what
growth.
the average person has. So, look,
No, it
do you
doesn't,
think it's
because what you
okay?
just
Do you
said
think it's okay?
contradicts what the definition
I'm going
is.
to mute you so I can answer this question that you dodged like 9 before.
You're so retarded. You just
Do you
debunked your
think
own
it's okay for
definition.
a 45-year-old to fuck a 9-year-old?
Why are
I'm
you running for
muting
the
you now.
question? Why are you running for the point of you getting BTFO'd on the adult?
Do you think it's okay for a 45-year-old to fuck a 9-year-old?
That's the second deflection from the low tier. Let's see for the third time I stay to the point.
I responded to everything. Now I'm asking you this question
You
you've
said
dodged 7 times
specifically
now.
that's the third
Do you think
deflection
it's
from the low
okay
tier.
for a
He's running.
42-year-old to
He's
fuck a
running.
9-year-old?
He knows he has an inaccurate,
Are you ever going
retarded
to answer this
concept
question?
of
I'll answer
adulthood.
any question.
Are gonna ever stay on the point and not run away
I'll
because you
answer
don't
any
getting
question you
BTFO'd?
want as long as you promise you answer this question. Will you answer it?
Look at him running again. He's trying to run away and
I'll
sprint
answer any
away from the
question.
actual
I'm telling you, I'll
substance
answer any
because
question you can ask me.
he has no good argument.
Look, you ask me any
You
question you
answered,
want, and I'll
you
answer it if
staying
you
on the
promise.
point. You staying on the point should not be conditioned upon me answering your dumb fuck derail question, right? So
I'm
what's going to
happy to
happen is you're going
answer.
to stay to
You're
the
muted right
point.
now. I'm happy to answer any question you have,
So
as long as you promise me that you'll answer this
that
question. I'm
surpassing
going to turn you
puberty
back
is
up now, okay?
sufficient for someone to be an adult. Now that's in contradiction to
Oh, you
you
were muted
agree
for a
that
bit.
there
Can you
are
repeat yourself?
cases I know I was muted for a bit, but guess what? The most important points have not been said while I was muted. So just lock the fuck in. So you stated that someone can surpass puberty without being fully grown. You agreed on this on the recorded, and that's in contradiction with the definition posted in the chat and the definition I've read out,
An
which
adult is an
stated
animal that
that's
has
what
reached
you
full
mean.
growth.
That's what we
The
mean.
biological
That's what we
definition of
mean.
adult is an
That's what
organism
we
that has reached
mean.
sexual
That's what we
maturity.
mean by being fully grown is no longer growing. You have no more growth capacity, you retard.
Actually,
Yeah, you're
sir,
done for. You're cooked.
you always
You're
have
cooked.
growth capacity, sir.
You're so cooked,
An
dude.
adult is an animal
Holy.
that's reached full growth. The biological definition of adult
Full
is an
growth means
organism
you're
that
no
has
longer
reached
growing.
sexual
If you
maturity, and
reach
that's
full
typically a
growth, you have
preposition.
no more capacity to grow, you moron. So that means you have
None
no
of
room
none
for
of the
growth
sources agree with
anymore.
you, man.
I just read a
Nobody
source which
agrees with
agrees
you.
with me. What are you talking about? And your own source
We're talking
disagrees with
about
your own point, you idiots. What are you talking about?
we're
Are you
talking
okay?
about
Have you been
full
on drugs
growth.
lately?
We're talking about fully grown in regard to
Full
being an
growth
adult.
means no longer growing.
Look, fully grown in regard to adulthood, dude. You're just
Yeah, it
confused.
means you're no longer growing. Yes, that's what it
Now, are you
means.
going to answer the question? How many more questions do you have for me?
I never asked you a question. I just gave you a point which debunks your
Okay, do
overarching
you have any more
proposition. Can you
questions?
try?
Do you
Is
have
this
any
guy
more questions?
retarded? Are going to respond to the argument? Are
Okay,
going to
you don't
respond to
have
the
any more
argument?
questions. Great. Now,
Are going to
Apollo,
respond to
is
the
it
argument?
okay for a
Okay, so he's going to
40-year-old
run
to
away.
ask
He's
a
going to
young
run away
one?
to a derailed question because he can address the argument.
Look, this is the 9th time.
Look, this is the ninth time if you're trying to derail the conversation because you're getting
Do you
BTFO'd right
think
now
it's
intellectually
okay
and darkly.
for a
Do you think it is
39-year-old to ask a
okay for us to
39-year-old?
dodge my question because you realize getting BTFO'd at the current
Oh, I
point? Yes
thought
or
you
no?
weren't asking questions. So you were
I
asking
thought
questions.
you I
Go
thought
ahead.
you were going to address the relevant points. Are you not going to address the relevant points of the conversation?
Yeah, the relevant points is that you're conflating fully grown, right, with what it means to be fully grown in regard to adulthood. Now,
Could
I've
someone
already
give me
given
pick
you a
terms?
source. There's
Could
a
someone
source
give
in
me
the
pick
chat,
terms?
right?
Who has pick terms? Who has like mod roles in the server or in this VC? Give me pick terms.
Look, are you going to answer the question that I asked you or no?
You're running. You're running. You're running.
How
It's
am I
okay.
running? I'm asking you if you're going to answer a
Don't
question.
panic. Don't panic. It's okay. Don't panic.
Your rhetoric is really cringe, dude.
Your running is really cringe, dude. Who has pick
You
terms
think
or
you look
who
good
can
when you
give
do
me
that?
like mod?
I got pick firms, but I don't got fucking
Who
mods.
has pick terms? Who has pick terms? Who could actually just send them the picture and then they just post it in the side chat
I
to
got you.
just debunk this fucking part. Got you, bet. This is Wi-Fi, right?
Mhm.
Oh, bet, dude. Hold up. I'm gonna send the picture right now. This guy's like genuinely fucking retarded, and I can just like ask for input afterwards to make sure that this guy's like staying on track with the conversation. Here you go. So, Wi-Fi, just check DMs and then just post this picture, post this image in the side chat. And then what we're gonna do, and by Wim talking about me and Wi-Fi, we're gonna just read together. All right, I'm just gonna just read the screenshot and then ask Wi-Fi if it says what I think it says, and then we're just gonna seal the conversation from there on. Okay? So post the picture in the side chat, Wi-Fi. Thank you. The screenshot. Okay, so Wi-Fi, we're gonna read the screen. I'm gonna read it for the voice call. So it says, a fully grown human means a person who has completed their physical development. They say completed, right? Their physical development and reached adult size and maturity. Then they clarify afterwards, no longer growing, often synonymous with being an adult, mature, or grown up, typically considered around age 18 or older, though it can imply full physical and mental development. Now, Wi-Fi, do you see in the concept that they've given for what it means for someone to be fully grown in the concept or the context of adulthood? Do you see in the screenshots them talking about no longer growing? Yes or no? You
Yeah.
see this, right? Okay, now is that compatible with the retard saying that someone can surpass puberty and still be growing but still be an adult?
No.
Okay, so I'm glad that at least someone else who is actually not retarded can agree on the prop that you contradicted yourself because you said surpassing puberty is sufficient to be an adult given the general colloquial definition of the conventional concept. But then we see here in the conventional analysis or concept of what an adult actually is, they're saying, or not even an adult, but rather what a fully grown human actually is. They're saying here that in that context, what they mean is someone who is no longer growing. That specifically is incompatible with you saying that someone is a fully grown human so long as they have surpassed puberty. That's going to be a contradiction to your own standard and criticism, or rather your critique, I should say, towards my position.
Yep. So I understand what you're saying now. Please track what I'm saying and respond. Okay. What I'm talking about is what people mean when what I'm talking about is what people mean when they say fully grown in regard to adulthood. So do you understand the difference there?
The screenshot is showing what people mean by this. It's cited several different sources. What are you talking about?
When people
Majority of the
say
time, so this stop interrupting. I know interruption is screaming insecurity right now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now that usually when you search for the definition of a terminology, the definition is reflective of what most people mean by this. So the very fact that when you search up the definition of what it means for someone to be a fully grown human and this pops up, that's evidence for it being the case that this is what the majority of people mean by this given terminology, dumbass. What are you talking about?
again, this is in regard to adulthood. That's why these other sources here, like this one says, an adult is an
That's what we're
animal that has
talking
reached.
about. That's what we're talking about.
Stop
We're
interrupting.
talking about the
Calm down.
context of
Just calm
adulthood.
down. Just calm down. An adult is an
It's hard to
animal
be
that has
calm
reached.
when you're being it's hard to be calm when you're being this
Calm
retarded.
down. Just calm down.
It's very
An
hard to
adult
be
is an
calm when you're being
animal that has reached full growth. The biological definition of adult is an organism that has reached sexual maturity and thus capable of reproduction. So that definition there, right, which is from a source, an actual source, conflicts what you're saying here with the full-grown human from the AI overview. Now, the reason
from
why
the
I
claim.
think the AI, I think the reason why the AI overview
How is it
says that
incompatible with the AI
I think
overview?
what the AI overview says, the reason it says that is because all you have in there is full growth, right? Which is ambiguous. Now, in the context of
No,
adulthood, full
no, I
growth,
have fully grown
now,
human, not full growth. What are you
again,
talking about?
yeah, full growth human,
Can you
sure,
not
sure.
read? That's
Please
different. Yeah,
calm,
I'm glad you agree. You just
calm down,
committed the
Spaz.
blunder on
Calm
the
down,
reading part.
calm down. Now, the
You're telling
reason
me to calm
why,
down because you're trying to gain rhetorical
all right,
points. It's not
I'm
even
just gonna mute
working
you
right
now.
now. We
All
don't
right,
care if you mute me, by the way,
yeah,
just
I
to
just
be
mute
clear
you.
this. So
So, the reason
the retort
why you're
claimed
confused here,
the retort claimed that this would be compatible
Bro,
with his definition, and they got debunked on the concept, and now
the
she's gonna
reason
do
why
this
you're
rhetorical
confused
transcendent
here,
bullcrap.
right, is
Holy dude.
because you are not tracking what we're talking about. We're talking about adulthood and what it means to be fully grown
He's
in regard to being an
genuinely
adult.
confused with the
Okay.
concepts right now.
When you put full growth of a human, right, into the AI search, into the Google, right, it's not going to capture that context, right? And that's why there's
That's what is
a
in the
conflict between the
AI
definition.
overview, you dumbass. What are you talking about? In the search, it shows fully grown human meaning. So the very full terminology of what you're talking about there is in the search, you dummy. That's number one.
So
Number
then, what do
two
you
is
think? What do you
simply,
explain?
hold
What
on,
do you
just
think
stop,
explains?
calm down.
What do you
You're the
think
one spazzing
explains
now.
the
You're the one
discordance?
hold on.
spazzing now. You're the one spazzing now. You're the one
Yo,
spazzing
Apollo,
now. Relax,
yo,
Apollo.
I'm
relax.
Relax.
spazzing.
Calm
Calm down.
down.
Jesus Christ,
Calm
relax.
down. I'm not spazzing. Relax.
Anyway, so a person's nose or ears never stop growing. So does someone never reach full grown status,
Yeah,
adulthood?
that's a reductionist view. I wasn't even going to go there. Obviously, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
reductionist.
retarded. So you're saying just because an stop never happens, we don't observe that. There is no such thing as a fully grown human under this definition, which is kind of
Exactly,
retarded
like
because of,
old
as
man's
I mentioned
earlobes
again, an
grow.
ear and a nose never stops growing.
Yeah,
Your
It
hairs
worked.
don't stop. Your nail don't stop growing.
It would have worked if case
We
that in
can't.
the
So here's the
screenshot
thing.
it's
You're just
your argument
attacking. No, here's the thing,
argument
Apollo. You're just attacking a specific cherry
argument
pick
would
part of
work
the
if it was
definition in the AI
specified
overview,
screenshot.
which is a
You're
dishonest and
talking about
disingenuous thing to
physical
do.
maturity in the context of
Xerxes, I
height,
got to
you
go in a minute.
dummy.
Let me just
You're
finish
talking
so I
about
can
being
go.
fully grown in so far as height. So you ignore the context, try to give a reduction, and failed horrendously because you ignore the context and you're illiterate. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you have an actual objection, which is going to be something which is
Dude, this
pointing
is a
out the context?
bro. Who the fuck is
This
actually
is a
listening to this
no-turn moment for
narcissistic,
you where you
pretentious
just
piece of
basically
shit,
Yeah,
bro?
belittle the
any
And you
conversation
just need to.
and
You
you
have
just
a
allow
clogged
me
nose,
to
buddy.
basically
Clean your
in the
nose up.
screenshot
I
and
all
am.
right, guys.
attempt to the reduction of blown the fuck out this
Yeah, this
reductive.
is
So
just
now
not
you're
worth
Calm
anyone's
down.
time, to be
Can
honest.
somebody
so,
mute him
yeah,
so I
no,
can
just to be
respond,
clear, this
and then you
just
can
to be
respond?
really
It's worth
explicitly
my
clear the
time.
proposition. Do you agree that in this screenshot, do you agree,
Anyway, I just
Xerxes,
fucking turned now.
lock in
Not
scumbag,
worth
lock in
it.
trash can?
All
Do you agree
right,
that
can
in the
somebody mute
screenshot,
Apollo
because it
so I
means
can
losing
respond, and then
confidence
you can
right now,
respond?
in the screenshot, which you
I think he's
attempted to
just
give a
not going to
reduction
stop.
towards, do you agree that when they're talking about full growth, they're talking about height as specified in the paragraph about physical maturity? Yes or no? Do you agree with this?
Okay, so like Apollo, so what he's saying is correct,
Yes or
right?
no?
The reason
Did he
why
run
there's
away
a
from the voice call?
discordance
He left the
between our
voice call.
different
That's crazy. He left the voice
Apollo,
call.
come on, just
What
calm
a
down, dude.
retard. Jeff,
Look,
so
he
just to
gave
be
you a.
clear on this, you agree that the definition, that's the conventional
Oh, yeah.
definition, which I posted in the side
All
chat,
right, I'm just
is
going to
going to
mute
be
you and
something which
overtalk because it's going
contradicts
to
your
sound
definition.
obnoxious.
Yes or no?
But so,
You agree
look,
with that?
he gave the reductio on your definition. Look, if we take your definition,
That
then
was the
like an
reduction. So how is the
81-year-old, right, who
reduction?
has like another
How
millimeter
is
of
this a
years to
reduction?
grow,
How is this a
wouldn't be an
reduction?
adult, which is absurd.
How
Okay.
would that be reductio?
Now, there's a
How would that be
discordance
reductio?
between your
He's
AI
just
overview and the
pontificating because there's
definitions
no
that were in the
justification
chat,
to proposition.
right? Similar to the ones that
Insane.
I gave and the ones
It's
that
actually insane for
Bob
me.
gave. The reason for that is because you're missing the
You haven't
context there, and the
proven now it's a
context is
reduction,
what
by
it
the
means
way.
to be fully grown in regard to being an adult. Okay.
No,
And what
because they
best
specify in the
explains, right, the
screenshot, and
discordance
even I
between,
specified this by
yeah, what
fully
it
grown.
best
We're
explains the
specifically talking
discordance
about physical maturity,
between our
which
two
is not going to
sources
be
is
talking
that
about something like
in my
knowledge or
source
something
we
like that.
specified
But what they're
like the
talking about
context, the
there,
adulthood, and
what they're
yours you
talking about
didn't.
there is something such as height. So
I
you're
want
not giving a
to
reduction because you
increase your
basically shed
volume
the
now,
box
but
the
I got to
entire
go in a
time and
couple
not
minutes.
actually address the actual argument. So I'm going to
Okay,
actually address the
you can
argument
just
and
say that,
shed
but
the
I think
box from the
everybody here
conversation,
like
retard.
understands what's going on, man. Now, for the 11th time now, are you going to
I'm
answer the
pretty
question?
sure the person who
Is it
vouched
okay?
against you
Is
actually.
it
The
okay
Wi-Fi
to have
guy vouched
sex
against you after
with a
reading the
9-year-old if you're
screenshot. I'm
40?
not sure if I'm going to appeal to everyone here, by the way. But just to be clear on this, could you just prove that there was a successful reduction towards my concept? It's unlocked. Holy dude. He has no freaking response. So I'm going to re-ask the question, like give you like a bit more time to actually rethink the concepts here. Could you demonstrate to me that there was a successful reductio given the definition posted in the side chat and given the definition I presented with respect to what it means for someone to be a fully grown human? Could you show me that there was a successful reductio towards that
Yeah, there's
definition? You're going
obviously
to
a
keep on
successful
dodging and
reduction
deviating.
because you wouldn't be done growing until death.
No, actually, because you actually stopped growing height-wise, right?
Okay, where does it say height in your definition?
Literally in the paragraph below, you dumbass nigga. It says it right here. It says in the paragraph below, it says key meanings and aspects. It goes into the specific clarification of the paragraph. It says key meanings and aspects, colon. The first part, the first point, it says physical maturity, reached full height and bodily development, not
Yeah,
expected to
bodily
get
development.
bigger. They're talking about
Right.
height, you
Not expected to get
moron.
bigger. Do the ears get
Wow, what a
bigger?
blunder. Oh my god, you just shared the box, dude.
Do the ears get
My
bigger
god.
when you're 80? Do the ears get bigger?
They're not talking about ears, they're talking about height, retard, are they not?
No, they
Is
said
height
reach
ears?
full height and bodily
Is height ears?
development. Look,
Is
it
height
says
airs?
reach.
Is height airs?
Calm down.
Yes or
It says
no?
reach
Is
full
height
height and
airs?
bodily
Yes or no?
development,
Is height
comma, not
airs? Yes or
expected to
no?
get bigger.
Is height airs? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No, obviously not. But
Okay.
you're just
So
misreading.
just to
Look
be
at the
clear, this you're
sentence.
shut the box, right?
Just
So
look
you're
at the
just basically
sentence.
attacking a non-point because you won't
Just
even
look at the sentence. It
actually
says
address the
reach full
actual argument
height and
because you have
bodily
no actual
development.
substance. You have no
It's a
substance negated the actual
conjunction. It
relevance.
says reach full height and bodily development. A conjunction of bodily
Bodily
development and full
development, they're
height.
talking about height, yeah.
Does
Is
height
height not bodily development?
exhaust
Is
bodily
height
development?
not bodily development?
It's a part of it, but does it exhaust bodily development? No,
So you agree
obviously
that
it
it is
doesn't.
bodily development
Right?
or
So
not?
it's leaving room for other things, right?
Even if
Not
it is not
expected to get
exhaustive
bigger.
of this, it
The
doesn't mean
ears
this
get
is the
bigger.
case that they're not clarified height by saying bodily development. You could clarify a particular by referencing the universal category. So that's going to be something which is
Yeah,
not going to be deployed.
why would it use a more specific term and then follow it by a more general
Because
term?
because because every scientist agrees
Because
that humans
because
stop
because
growing.
because because.
Because humans stop growing. I
All
have to
right, I
repeat the
gotta
word
go. Do you have
because
anything
you're
else to say, man?
autistic and you're retarded and you struggle to track basic points. So usually for low function and retarded autistic dumb
All right,
fucks
just
like you,
make
for
one more
example,
substantive
I have to
point and
repeat
then answer my
very
question.
basic
Okay.
words to
All right.
make sure it is registering in your thick skull. So I'm going to tell you one more time, right? So if you actually search up on Google, for example, what's the scientific consensus on whether or not humans stop growing, it would be an almost universal, if not a universal consensus. Every scientist would actually agree, every biologist, I should say, would agree that humans do in fact stop growing, right? Of course, they don't mean stop growing in every single possible sense. They're talking specifically about height. When people are talking about growing, conventionally, if you're not retarded, if you actually touch the grass and interact with people in real life, you know that usually when someone is talking about growing, right, you're talking about getting taller, right? That's usually what the average person, which is not you because you're sub-average and you're retarded, means by the concept. And just to be clear on this, I told you that the definition posted in the chat, the clarification posted in the chat, alongside the consensus, which is confirmed empirically, goes against your fucking point. You look retarded right now. You just shut a box, first to the straw man to slap it down, and won't attack the goddamn argument.
Again, so yeah, there's bodily development and the conjunction. It doesn't make sense for it to say height and then bodily development, right? The ears are developing, the ears are growing bigger. It says it there. Okay.
Another
Now
shut
for
a
the
box for no reason.
the
Holy dude.
12th question,
He
the
just
12th
won't
question.
attack the
I'm asking
argument.
this
He just
question.
won't attack the
Look,
argument.
I got to go in like 20 seconds, man. The 12th time I'm asking this question. Is it okay for a
He just
40-year-old to fuck
won't
a
attack
9-year-old?
the argument. Oh my god. He just won't set the argument.
Okay,
And,
I'm
and
just
this is
gonna
why I
leave
don't
then.
rely
Like, look,
on one.
it's just
This is why I don't rely on one nigga
I'm
to
gonna
record
mute.
my
I'm gonna
debates
mute.
because Phil's bitch now
I mean,
told me
so
that the
look,
recording
it's
will
just
stop.
obvious that you have this view where it's okay to fuck a 9-year-old when you're 52. Obviously, you
It's
don't
okay to
believe
fuck
it.
Aisha.
Nobody
It's
here
okay for
believes
the
that's
prophet to fuck
okay.
Aisha. Yeah, definitely.
It's a gross
So look,
position, and you're a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
retard.
Believing
I
that someone believing that Aisha marriage is okay entails. Oh, he left the voice call. What a bitch boy. That's why I don't rely on incompetent niggas to freaking record my debates.